Hello, today is October 7th. This is for BSNU 360. I wanted to make another recording to talk about some of the feedback I wanted to share with you, expectations for the course as we move forward. I think overall people did a fairly nice job on the discussion board posts. However, I felt like some of the conversation was thin, and what I mean by thin is that it wasn't substantiated by evidence, and that it was generic, a lot of superficial discussion. It did not always offer insights, new perspectives based off the reading or the videos. So I would expect that when we talk about 3.1 discussion board, when we're talking about the professional roles of nursing, moving away from just bedside care to expanding on the role of what it means to be a BSN prepared nurse, I'm looking for more in-depth discussion talking about how this is going to impact you. I want you to specifically go back and look at the discussion board questions. Each question must be addressed in your discussion board post in order to receive the maximum points. If you only address one or two, you're not going to get the highest score that you would get on the rubric. So the rubric is the feedback, and so I made comments within the rubric. You need to look at those. So for example, if you got a basic score, you need to read what that entails, what a basic discussion board post would include. So that means it may have been informal in tone, there wasn't literature, it wasn't substantiated by evidence. That would be considered basic. In order to receive the maximum points, your post should meet the distinguished level every single time. So read that criteria for what a distinguished post would be, and that's where you need to be at in order to get the most points. Posts need to include literature and evidence, and they need to be cited correctly, like as if you would cite within a paper. So make sure to look at your APA pocket guide to clearly use the references appropriately. And I would expect that in your responses you should also be using evidence. So it's not okay anymore to just put out your opinion about what you think professional nursing is. You need to make an opinion, but then you also need to substantiate it with something that you've read somewhere, generally in scholarly literature. I would highly advise not to use blog posts, and those are not considered scholarly sources. So I would make sure that if you're going to find something, it's okay to use the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal in a post. However, scholarly literature reigns within this class, and you'll probably find that within the rest of the program, that scholarly literature is the best source for substantiating anything that you write in a formal education program. Some other thoughts that I had, I'm going to be downloading your papers for the reflection today, and we'll be getting those grades back. I wanted to apologize, it took me more time than I anticipated to get the initial papers back to you, mostly because I wanted to address every issue that I saw in the papers collectively across the board. So make sure you look at my feedback, and I would expect that in the weeks moving forward you're going to take that feedback and apply it back to your papers. For week 2, I will not have any deductions for APA or generally formatting, unless for some reason I can't make it through the paper without struggling to follow it from an organizational standpoint. So that's something that you'll notice. The other thing that I wanted to comment on is that the syllabus is the guide and the contract that I hold between you and myself. So what that means is that I expect that you're going to follow the syllabi as written. Therefore, discussion board posts generally I will adhere to the rubric, the requirements. I don't skip, I don't give extra credits. You need to contact me if you're going to miss content. We'll discuss that on an individual basis, but make sure you know the syllabus, make sure you've read it and you're clear. If you have questions about it, you need to contact me for clarification. Trying to contact me after the due date because you didn't get something done does not work. You'll get a grade of a 0, and I am strict about that. If you run into concerns ahead of time, contact me immediately. I will work with you if you contact me in advance. I generally do not work with students after the event has happened or something happens proactively. And that's the responsibility and accountability that you have to hold on to. That's not my accountability, to contact you to see if everything is okay. So with that being said, if you have questions or concerns, please contact me. I'm in the office today and tomorrow, 402-557-7501. My email, kim.meisinger@bellevue.edu. I'm more than happy to take phone calls, questions, or concerns. If you're finding this overwhelming, the program overwhelming, then you need to contact me as well or talk to your advisor. We need to have those conversations sooner than later, so that way we can get everybody on the right path. So with that being said, hopefully you're having a good week. If you have any concerns, please contact me. And that's all I have. Thanks.